Deep within a dying star system, a shattered alien coalition fleet drifts through fields of glowing debris. What was once a powerful defensive force has been reduced to a scattering of damaged ships, their hulls burned, engines sputtering, and shields flickering weakly against relentless radiation. The star at the system's core is collapsing, warping gravity and bending light, slowly tearing its own planets apart. Every second spent here brings them closer to destruction. Surrounding them is an enemy armada so vast it blocks out the stars. Thousands of hostile vessels form an unbroken wall of metal and energy, sealing every escape route. Their weapons remain silent for now, not out of mercy, but patience. They know the coalition cannot flee. They know time itself is their ally. Weeks earlier, desperate distress calls had been broadcast across every known frequency. Emergency beacons flared into the void, carrying pleas for reinforcements, for rescue, for any response at all. At first, hope remained. Entire civilizations had sworn mutual defense. Help had always come before. But the hours passed. Then days. Then endless weeks. No signal returned. No fleets arrived. Only silence answered their calls. Power grids begin to fail. Communications arrays burn out under constant strain. Food and medical supplies dwindle to critical levels. Officers once filled with confidence now speak in hushed tones, avoiding each other's gaze. Damage reports echo endlessly through darkened corridors. Casualty lists grow longer by the hour. The enemy advances methodically. One allied ship is obliterated in a flash of searing light. Another is torn apart moments later. Survivors watch helplessly as friends, comrades, and entire families vanish into expanding clouds of plasma. Escape pods scatter briefly before being erased by precision fire. With each loss, morale collapses further. The remnants retreat closer to the dying star, where radiation levels spike and gravitational tides threaten to tear their ships apart. The final command vessel struggles at the center, its hull fractured, atmosphere leaking from multiple decks, emergency bulkheads sealing off entire sections. Medical bays overflow. Life support systems flicker unpredictably. On the bridge, the fleet commander stands before the remaining officers. Their voice carries no anger, no fear, only exhausted truth. No reinforcements are coming. The galaxy has moved on, or cannot reach them, or has already fallen. Their alliance is alone. Preparation for the end begins. Final evacuation pods are fueled despite the knowledge that escape is impossible. Crew members record farewell messages to loved ones they will never see again, sending them into the void with fading hope. Some pray. Others sit in silence. Many simply stare at distant stars, committing them to memory. Enemy weapons begin to charge. Energy signatures spike across thousands of hostile ships. The coalition's remaining shields strain, flickering erratically. Structural alarms howl throughout the fleet. Hull fractures widen. Gravity distortions intensify as the dying star pulses violently. They brace for extinction. Then, on long-range sensors, an anomaly appears. A mass signature beyond the system's edge. Moving impossibly fast. Growing larger with every passing second. The unknown contact closes the distance at a speed that shatters every known law of physics. Coalition sensors struggle to track it, readings fluctuating wildly as if the object exists in multiple positions at once. Enemy formations shift in confusion, their precise battle lines faltering as targeting systems fail to lock. Across the battlefield, navigation arrays glitch, gravity stabilizers stutter, and energy readings spike far beyond safe thresholds. Then space itself begins to rupture. A violent tear opens at the system's edge, twisting light and matter into a spiraling vortex. Gravitational shockwaves ripple outward, shaking every vessel. Hull plates rattle. Inertial dampeners strain. Radiation surges flood sensor grids, blinding long-range scanners. The rupture expands, stretching wider and wider, until something massive forces its way through. A colossal warship emerges. Its hull is obsidian black, absorbing starlight as though it consumes energy itself. Veins of crimson light pulse across its surface, tracing immense armored structures that dwarf even the largest enemy capital ships. Its engines ignite with a deep, resonant howl that vibrates through space, a predatory call that sends shudders through every cockpit. The sound is not transmitted through air, but through raw energy, rippling across hulls, rattling internal frames, and triggering fear in even the most hardened warriors. Enemy fleets respond instantly. Thousands of weapon systems lock onto the intruder. Plasma lances, antimatter torpedoes, and kinetic barrages converge in a storm of annihilation. The barrage slams into the warship's forward shields and disappears. Not deflected. Not absorbed. Simply erased, as if the attacks had never existed. The human vessel advances without hesitation. Weapon arrays unfold along its hull, rotating into firing positions with mechanical precision. Energy builds along massive cannons, compressing stellar matter into blinding points of destructive potential. Smaller platforms deploy in synchronized patterns, tracking hundreds of hostile ships simultaneously. Every system moves with terrifying calm. Then it fires. Beams of condensed starfire slice through the battlefield, carving through enemy cruisers as though they are hollow shells. Entire battleships detonate in silent flashes, their shields collapsing before impact. Precision strikes disable carrier groups, sever command networks, and cripple propulsion systems within seconds. Defensive formations disintegrate into chaos. The enemy armada fractures. Orders overlap. Retreat vectors conflict. Ships collide, scramble, scatter. Some attempt to flee toward deep space. Others charge in desperation. None survive. The human warship maneuvers effortlessly, intercepting every movement, dismantling resistance with ruthless efficiency. Each volley is calculated. Each strike is final. For the surviving coalition crews, disbelief gives way to stunned awe. They had prepared for extinction. Instead, they witness a single vessel obliterate an armada that had crushed them for weeks. The battlefield transforms into a drifting graveyard of molten wreckage and fading energy signatures. Within minutes, the fight is over. Silence returns, broken only by the faint crackle of dissipating plasma and the distant hum of the warship's engines. It does not broadcast victory. It does not demand surrender. It simply waits, looming over the ruins like an unstoppable force of judgment. As the last enemy signals fade, the massive warship remains motionless, suspended above the wreckage. For several long seconds, no transmissions follow. Coalition crews wait in stunned silence, uncertain whether salvation has truly arrived or if another threat now stands before them. Then a signal cuts through the static. It is not a greeting, not a declaration, only a calm request for casualty data. The simplicity of it is unsettling. After a brief hesitation, the coalition command vessel complies, transmitting medical reports, structural damage scans, and life support status. The response is immediate. Advanced repair algorithms stream back, followed by precise navigational vectors plotting a safe course out of the collapsing system. The data is flawless, predicting gravitational shifts and stellar flares hours before they occur. Moments later, a live channel opens. The figure that appears is human. Calm eyes. Controlled posture. No triumph. No arrogance. Only quiet focus. The captain's voice is steady, stripped of emotion, shaped by endless war. They explain that humanity has fought a hidden conflict beyond the borders of mapped space for centuries. While known civilizations expanded, traded, and built empires, humans moved outward, confronting threats too vast, too ancient, and too destructive to be allowed near inhabited systems. Entire regions of the galaxy have been sealed, erased from star charts, and erased from history. This enemy armada was only a fragment of something far greater. The coalition's distress call had not reached neighboring allies. It had pierced into restricted deep space channels monitored solely by human fleets. Their rescue mission was launched while engaged in far more catastrophic battles across uncharted sectors. The captain delivers the truth without hesitation. This operation was classified as low priority. The statement stuns the survivors. To humanity, saving an entire coalition fleet from annihilation was a minor diversion. Before questions can form, the human warship deploys autonomous drones. Thousands of small machines streak across the battlefield, sealing hull breaches, stabilizing reactors, restoring life support systems, and administering medical treatment. Injured crew members are revived. Fires are extinguished. Structural damage is reversed. Within hours, ships that were minutes from destruction are fully operational. Advanced supply pods transfer food, medical compounds, and energy cells far beyond coalition manufacturing capability. Entire production shortages vanish instantly. The human captain issues final departure instructions. Evacuation routes are confirmed. Defensive patterns are shared. Emergency survival protocols are uploaded directly into coalition databases. One final message follows. The galaxy stands on the brink of extinction. Ancient forces long thought myth are awakening. Entire star clusters have already vanished beyond the galactic rim. Humanity stands between these threats and total annihilation, alone. They do not seek gratitude. They do not seek recognition. They only request silence. Then the transmission ends. The warship's engines begin to glow. Space distorts. Gravity buckles. And in a single, blinding surge of energy, the human vessel vanishes back into the void, leaving behind only drifting starlight and a truth that will forever reshape galactic history. In the long silence that follows, the surviving coalition fleet drifts among the scattered remains of what was once an unstoppable armada. Emergency lights flicker across damaged corridors. Medical teams move from deck to deck, treating the wounded, sealing ruptured compartments, and recovering those who did not survive. Names are recorded. Losses are counted. Entire crews are gone, erased in moments, leaving only debris and fading energy trails where lives once burned. Shock lingers across every vessel. They had prepared to die. Instead, they had been saved by a force no one knew existed. Reports are compiled and transmitted across secured galactic channels. Sensor data, battle recordings, energy signatures, and navigation logs flood into central archives. Analysts struggle to interpret what they see. The technology displayed exceeds known science by centuries. The propulsion system alone defies accepted models of spacetime mechanics. Weapon outputs register energy yields equivalent to collapsing stars, delivered with surgical precision. As fragments of the story spread, disbelief ripples across civilization after civilization. Many dismiss it as battlefield hallucination, mass sensor failure, or fabricated propaganda. Others begin searching ancient records and forgotten archives. Slowly, scattered references emerge, fragmented myths of silent watchers, shadow fleets, and unseen guardians operating beyond the mapped stars. For the first time, these legends feel real. Across distant systems, deep space sensors begin registering brief gravitational anomalies, fleeting distortions that vanish before identification. Entire hostile fleets disappear without trace. Superweapons fail moments before activation. Catastrophic invasions collapse before they begin. No explanations follow. No warnings are issued. Only silence. Political powers demand contact. Scientific councils request cooperation. Military alliances attempt to trace the origin of the human warship. Every effort fails. Humanity offers no communication, no diplomatic channels, no confirmation of involvement. Yet the evidence continues to grow. Where extinction-level threats arise, they vanish. Where civilizations teeter on the brink, salvation arrives unseen. Slowly, understanding spreads across the galaxy. Humanity is out there, watching, waiting, fighting wars so vast they cannot be revealed without unraveling fragile stability. For the coalition survivors, life continues, but nothing is the same. Star charts are redrawn. Defense strategies rewritten. Entire doctrines of power are abandoned overnight. A quiet certainty settles into galactic consciousness. Survival is no longer solely in their own hands. Somewhere beyond known space, engines still howl through the void. Somewhere in the darkness, human fleets wage battles that cannot be named. And when hope finally fades, when extinction seems inevitable, the galaxy now knows the truth. They are not alone. From the depths of silent space, humanity will emerge, unstoppable, unseen, and unforgiving, howling through the void, standing between existence and annihilation.